Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Timberborn, Neo Olympus. Uh, yeah, episode 25. And I can happily inform you that this is the last one where we're recapping stuff done. And I am gonna get back to doing some more work before Update 7 drops in roughly like 2 weeks or so. So I have a lot of work to do in that time. But we are almost caught up on how the colony got to this point in time and how it looks now. So, without further ado, let's get to this. And I promise you, this is the last video like this.
Everybody got that?
All right. So, finally finished laying all that dynamite down. So what we're going to do is we're going to get back into it and get the rest of this dynamite laid. It shouldn't take very long since doing dynamite is about the only thing that these beavers have to do at the moment. But once we get it all laid down, we can go ahead and completely get rid of this hill. And boom goes the dynamite. So with all of that cleared and we get the path going, they should be able to fill in the rest of this dirt that I've been waiting for them to fill in and expand our lands for trees. And there's so much work to be done in this area still. But these are side quests. And like I said, I need to get out of the habit of doing every single side quest and get to my main mission. This is why I still haven't beaten the main quest in Skyrim, over a decade later. So back over here, we still need to finish routing that power cable through. So now that everything is built, and I'm sure that I have a separator for bad water and good water so it doesn't mix. Also, I need to make sure that while I'm building this, I don't accidentally overflow any bad water and have another incident, because the last thing we want is another incident. I feel like I need a cycle since last incident counter. But that is where our power is going to come out. So any power that we need for our actual colony will have a way to be routed through. And going to go ahead and let them build all of this stuff and get ready to prep the next stage of what's going to happen. And I went over here, and for some reason they weren't building this. And then I realized that while the bottom of that actually had the correct arrows, it was just not consistent with the direction of travel for my beavers to get to it. So I decided to redo this. And it seems pretty weird that I have such a big pond there. But that was because or a big gap there where I could put water. I decided if I was going to put more water there, I was going to put mangroves there to start getting mangrove fruit. And why not take care of it in the district and just have it shipped to the other one, since they're taking care of all the trees in the first place. Well, that's completely finished. It's empty, but it's finished. And they're almost done with the other one. And I forgot to adjust my floodgates because I don't want the entire city getting flooded. All right. So now that we've got that all built, I have to figure out how to get through this side. So putting my power in, or at least trying to lay it out. Or at least trying to lay out how I'm going to do this power and how I'm going to make it so I don't have gallons upon gallons of bad water just completely obliterate everything in there. Like I said, no more incidents. I have to start thinking outside of the box. And I think the best way to do that is to create another barrier. And yeah, the video jumping was because I was saving at that point.
Message for you, son.
Like I said, no more parts of this power plant. It's moving along.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Okay, coming back over here, working on this power issue and trying not to completely ruin everything else. Like I said, no more incidents. Okay, getting rid of that doesn't cause any issues. Then I also thought about it. Definitely putting some impermeable floors to actually create a tube to make sure that I don't get any bad water coming up over it would be good. And part of my debate was about using a platform versus using just levees. Gosh, I couldn't even think of the word. Using levees to do all this over again. Now that we've got everything for them to build, it's a waiting game. So we can check on some other things. Basically, I wanted to start reforming how my entryway, I should say, how the main path, the central path where it's going to lead to the district center, how that's created. And what I decided was I kind of want to line it with builders' huts. So getting rid of the paths and making sure it all fit properly. I can take 2 builders' huts there because I will still need some builders in this district whenever I have a project to do. But I'll always be able to have them disabled if I don't need them. And of course, we are now gotten our planks back under control, so we're of course low on gears. It's a balancing act because they need everything. We're checking in. They're still working on it, but they're getting there, slowly but surely. And we had a bad tide, which is fine. I'm really gonna have to work on at least one more of those bad water diversion systems at some point. But like I said, no more side projects. We just need to figure this out. And so I was quite sure we were going to be good. So I demolished all of that. To have them start building the pipes in, or the, I should say the power connections in, to get it all connected, and then putting impermeable floors on top of it. And yep, no bad water leaking in. It was successful. So from here on, all we need to do is fill in our nice big hole. So when update 7 comes out, I'm going to try and turn this map and update it and see how much of it I'm going to lose, or if I'm going to have issues with continuing it. And I may end up going and redoing some of this stuff and filling it in with dirt, since I'll be able to put dirt on top of platforms. Couldn't think of the word. So with all that just needing to be filled in, our next thing is I want to put the hauling posts there as well with my building posts. And just need to check on some other things and preparation. And then of course, trying to figure out this whole thing. And then I look at the way everything is, and I'm realizing, yeah, that's not going to work, because as soon as I try and get to that power, it is just going to flood everything. So of course I have to put back in levees. It's not like I'm low on wood or anything. I mean, I kind of am, but I'm not quite. Back over to our pool. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our aquatic activity area. So I decided to put in 3 pools and a row of showers. And then I was like, you know what? Probably could use another swimming pool there. The only problem is, if I put a swimming pool there at the moment, they won't be able to get to anything. So we can get rid of that idea for the moment. We'll hold off on putting a swimming pool there. And on this side, since I know this is not contaminated water, and I need them to go and put that impermeable floor in, I'll just make a stairwell down, because that'll be quick and easy. And with that, it's just waiting for that to do. Also staffing our hauling post, because we forgot to do that. Haulers make the world go round. Checking progress over here. They're getting there. Storage check to see how much stuff we're missing in storage, because eventually I do want to remove this storage. I'm going to put other stuff there. And they are filling up the one pool, so swimming pools will be usable soon. And over here I can just get rid of the stairwell. Have them pick up all the rubble while I'm doing it. And if you're wondering why I didn't just build the stairs straight up onto the ledge, it's because I needed that platform there anyway, because I'm going to need it for the water pump to make sure that the swimming pool stays full. And look at all those beavers go. They're regular Olympians in those pools, doing laps. And over here, I filled in that area to create room because I'm putting in another excavator. The good thing is we can just keep putting in more platforms to extend that path along, and as we put in the next excavator, and then maybe we'll put in another one after that. So I still need to, I do want to remove these levees, and I need to pick up the resources before I put it in, because otherwise there could be an issue with actually getting those resources back. I didn't want to push them into a block where they wouldn't be able to reach them. Swinging back to the other side of our factory, I need to start working on our oil presses since they're going to be over here. And I removed the pods, the decontamination pods. Hopefully we'll never need them again. It's probably ill-fated conversation topic, but we'll put in our grease factories there, or maybe not. We'll move them over one, because I realized as soon as I put them in that I'm going to need to make sure I have a way of putting platforms there to be able to access, put the canola oil presses above them. And checking on the happiness of how much wet fur we have between the pools and the showers. Lots of beavers seem to be enjoying them. At this point, since the vision was starting to come true on the canvas, so to speak, I needed to make sure that I could actually utilize the area on top of the storage completely to continue with building up this downtown area, because I don't want to have wasted space on top of the buildings. So I need to put in some platforms and make sure that I can fully utilize this area. And of course, I need to make sure that it's the same on both sides, because I plan on mirroring the actual part of the city on the opposite side of to cover the entire lake. Yep, back over here, got grease factories working. And the canola oil is right across the way, so quick access to the resources. But here comes the part about figuring out exactly how I want to do this. Because if I use 3, they can just access it off of the stairwell that's already existing. But here comes an issue with power. How do I get power up there? And of course, this is probably something I should have thought through, but where there's a will, there's a way. Or where there's an upward power shaft, there's a way. No, I just have to kind of look at how do we get it up there, or how do I get back there to build it.
10 seconds later.
Hey, editor, didn't I say no more power plant stuff?
I don't think it means what you think it means.
Hey, what do you know? I can actually place down the fluid dump so that way water can start filling that up, so I can start planting mangroves. because they filled in enough to get that done and taken care of. Man, all the side quests. All the side quests. Well, actually, I guess this is part of the main quest, because getting the district self-sufficient is going to require a nice bit of lumber. More planting. More trees. So I can look at this, and I'm also going to need, which I didn't leave room for, but I'm also going to need some more lumberjacks, and eventually, or did I leave room for them? Yeah, I'm going to need more room for lumberjacks and a gatherer. Okay, so back over to this part. So as long as they build all of this, I should be able to take care of everything. So I realized I didn't have a good way of getting around here. And you might be wondering, why would I need to get back here? Well, there's a very simple reason. I actually realized the 4 bad water pumps that I have at the front, that is actually not enough. So I wanted to put some more bad water pumps in, and I wanted to put them out of the way. And I am going to place some platforms in to put some regular platforms in to put some more bad water pumps. And I just needed to make sure that they had enough clearance to be on the other side of the man, I can't even think of what they're called. They need to be on the other side. But here comes another problem. While I did get all of this stuff in, I'm realizing, I'm like, oh, this doesn't really work because I don't have a way to get down there because it's not enough. So as I've been watching other content creators, I believe it was Zedek, he mentioned that one of the things that slows your computers down is entities moving along the paths. And so efficient pathing helps to lighten the load on your computer, which is good to know because I've noticed it on my laptop, not on my desktop yet, but on my laptop on some maps where I have tons of beavers. It takes a while. It slows down quite a bit around them. But while I've been talking about that, we have our oil presses in, and that means that we're good on that side. So zooming back out, I still need to look at my storage. I mean, I have a lot of it, but for the rest of the mega projects I have planned for this map, I don't have enough. So let's put in another layer. I mean, why not? It's easy enough. And the pathing setup for this one is actually pretty nice because it's long enough that I can do straight paths up. But speaking about long enough, we're gonna put in a whole nother tier if I can manage to get the scaffolding up right, because you know sometimes you forget. Now that they're finished, we can set everything to what it's going to hold. And remember, this is going to be its own district. So one of the things is I don't feel like this storage is going to be big enough. So we definitely are going to make more storage. And yeah, the storage may seem outlandish right now, but with more mega projects in the work, I want as much storage from the industrial district so they can make the goods, because that's the whole point of it, them making the goods, and they can be transported to wherever they're needed. It should help cut down on it should just help cut down on beaver movement. But one thing that we're going to do is we're going to make another layer. And I'm not actually going to put the industrial storage, but this is going to be for, this layer specifically is going to be for large warehouses, for those goods that we produce or need to have in large warehouses. So one of the major things is bot parts. Like, I have the small storages and stuff for the bot parts, but let's have a big one for overflow. And dynamite. Dynamite's a big one. We're going to need at least a large warehouse for dynamite because we always want to have dynamite on hand. And then there's other goods like canola seeds. We want to store canola seeds here because our oil presses are here. So with all of that, I also feel like it could be useful for storing exported goods like mangrove fruits. So coming back over here, there's things that we probably need to store or don't need to store over here. So we're always checking on that storage. And with all of that, I think it is about time to make our district crossing. And of course, I didn't need enough, but our district crossing there, district center, and we're going to name this Olympus Industrial. If I could ever remember how to type what I wanted to type.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
There you go. Olympus Industrial Park. Now the one thing is I need this entire thing to be staffed by bots. So going to our settings for our changing the settings for our max bots inside the Neo Olympus downtown, and then setting our settings for the Olympus Mon Industrial Parks, or not Olympus Mons, the Olympus Industrial Park. Yeah, so this took me a little bit of time because I always have problems with the district settings and trying to use the auto migration, and I really should have just manually migrated everything, because as you can see, I'm looking around, I'm like, why are all my bots over here? And it's just because I was setting it for the auto migration, and I should have just actually sent them all over there and then set the auto migration for anything that happens later. So here we just go and we're going to turn off certain things to be imported and turn on everything that's going to need to be exported. It's just, these are just settings for the go-between between the industrial district and the regular district. And it can be tedious. But the good thing about having the industrial district with only bots is I never have to worry about food coming to it. I can just export foods from one to the other. So that, I mean, that does help with the settings some. Districts with nothing but bots can be a little bit easier to manage in certain aspects because there's a lot of things you won't need. Especially when it's making a lot of the goods that the industrial or the bots will need. So we're just going to tinker around with these settings for a little bit more. Now that we're done with that, let's check on everything and see what our well-being is looking like, because it seems that they are enjoying their new area. Well-being of 28. So there's more things I can put in, and I just have to figure out where I'm going to put them and what. We made it! Finally! So we're at the end of the, what was it, 12 hours, 13 hours of recording and trying to re-edit and everything. And I will never do that again. I learned my lesson. But with all of this done, I will get back to recording because we don't have much time before the next update. And I really want to get a lot more done. I have a lot more for this vision. Anyways, if this was your first time being here, thank you for watching, especially if you made it to this point. I will be putting out a new video in the future soon. And I want to just thank you for taking the time and spending it with me. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.